Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Hell's Toaster and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm, where today we will be playing Sylvanas, the current Warchief of the Horde. Sylvanas is uncomparatively a strong specialist. She is the iconic specialist. She is the highest impact, I would say, of all the specialists in the game, just from her trait alone. Get straight into this right now. Her passive, is Black Arrows. Basic attacks and abilities stun minions, mercenaries, and structures for 1 second. It is incredibly strong in split pushing. It is incredibly strong for just taking out structures. So if you get Battlefield of Eternity, the Infernal Shrines, anything that has an objective that pushes the wave for you that isn't, say, Blackheart's Bay. If you get it on the one with the Zerg, I can never remember that one. It's not Warhead Junction. Braxis Holdout. If you get her on this one and you can shut down the enemy towers, it is such a boon to your map objectives. But enough of that. We shall start playing as the Horde Warchief in a very nice skin that I picked up, which is the Cinderai Ranger General. There was a few more added. There was the Ghostlands Ranger that I intend to probably pick up soon. And then a few of these Blood Raven ones for Sylvanas are really nice. I particularly like this one, to be honest, the Jungle Raven. You know what? We're going to play with that one today, actually, instead. So today we shall play Sylvanas.
Victory for the Forsaken.
And we have rolled the dice, and Lady Luck has given us the Towers of Doom. Now, this map is not great at the it's not great for Sylvanas at all. She's,
the battle begins in 10
how do I put
seconds.
it? It's good to have siege damage on this map, but deactivating the towers doesn't give amazing amounts. She's definitely good if you have another specialist on your team, such as Azmodan or anyone like that who does long range damage, or a lot of damage, and they can get in close. But just for being herself on her own in this map, it's not that good, I don't believe. She can be extraordinarily good, you know, with a little ticking dot there. And with the enemy team getting so now close to their forts, I can just jump in and at least keep one side turned off for my team. Now, yeah, I saw this coming. However, I am Sylvanas, but I am dead now. I thought I could get away there with my Haunting Wave, but the Varian charge basically took away enough health for the Malthael tick to kill me out. But enough of that. We're going to head back to mid, because I feel that's where I'll be the strongest right now. I don't want to do Nearby Mercs Are Stronger for Mercenary Queen, purely because the mercenaries killed themselves in this map. It's a kamikaze style map. So what I want to do is basically Overflowing Quiver. I believe that is the strongest one I can go for. Right here to hopefully get ourselves a few more free little just damaging attacks. It's also really good while sieging. You can just keep, you know, once an enemy minion wave comes towards you, you just keep everything down with your Q. Now, we want to just try and keep the enemy from kind of walks right in and regened himself there. I was trying to say we want to keep them zoned away so he can't apply his traits too many and heal himself back up. But it seemed like he was going to do that no matter what I tried to do, so I'm just going to apply some damage to him here, where hopefully... There we go. Now the enemy Tyrande is here. She's going to try and stun through the bush, I believe. No. I'm going to try and take the owl for our Tyrande. Take that, please, Tyrande. Oh my god. Oh, she wants me to do it? Okay.
Choose a talent.
I mean... Kinda didn't want her to... Kinda didn't want her to, you know... If she had just gone and grabbed it while we were messing around, we would have been fine. Now I've got to try and help her. It took so much longer to grab that there than I feel it necessary. But the final shrine at the bottom has been gone. So I'm going to take our shrine now on our side. And then that means we have got all 3 of the starting shrines. Which is amazing. Oh, no, I got stopped. Got stopped by a well-timed owl. But now D.Va's here. Basically keeping me away from grabbing the thing. I'm going to keep pinging it for assistance. D.Va again is now trying to get in and kill me. But she's walked into the dead zone. So our team is still not helping here. I mean, there's nothing I can do. I got pushed off by an owl. And D.Va got the shrine. That was very bad on my teams there. There was absolutely no awareness. And we gave up that shrine for free. They should have easily collapsed on D.Va a long time ago. But, you know, I guess laning is a bit more important. I got Barbed Shot for the triple damage against non-heroic units. So I can take mercenaries, which are so good in this map, faster later on. A lot of the time, I like to take unstable poison, which is black arrow affected minions explode upon death, which is extraordinarily good if oh my god, I need to try and extraordinarily good if you're just pushing waves. If it's with both kind of things, like between minions and mercenaries, I always tend to take the Barbed Shot because it affects them so much better. It's a more all-purpose one, so taking that just allows us to... also it gets better value on bosses when that spawns, in case we need to crank out some extra DPS on that. Now Varian's here. I want to just try and slow him down so he doesn't get onto our Tracer too well. Because he does have a point-and-click gap closer, as was proven. She can just jump away, but we don't want to give him the chance to get some surprising burst off on her in case he does. But now we got the mercenary, at least a mercenary, in on the enemy's tower. Tracer took out their well, which is extraordinarily good. It will come back though if we take that top tower, and they retake it. The well will respawn, but looks like Zul is being chased around our mid lane, but the bottom 2 shrines are up, so I'm going to ping those for assistance. Hopefully my team will respond better than they did last time, as we kind of really wanted to get those last time. I'm going to try... Nope, that's a variant. I feel like this is going as badly as it did before, but I think our team is... Tracer's definitely not responding as quickly as she should be. She was around that whole time. She hadn't gone back to base, I do not believe. But now we're just getting out team fighted because we're trickling in one by one. We kind of need to rally and all go in on the pings. Now the enemy team, out of the 5 that spawn, have got 3, whereas we only got 2. And in all honesty, we should have had more than that. But what's happened has happened. We can't help if our team are a little bit tunnel visioned, but they are trying to hard push bot though. So I'm pinging that for assistance, as we're going to try and come down here and get some big damage off. I'm going to silence Varian and hope that helps in taking him down. I'm jumping straight in on him here because purely we just want to get all the damage on him. I'd rather kill him than keep... Well, I don't need to keep my wave for an escape there, as I had my whole team around me, and it was just Varian and Tyrande, and I do not believe they could burst me out well. I didn't need to escape there, I needed damage, that is why. But normally, 9 times out of 10, you should save your save your haunting wave for an escape, so that no matter what happens, the enemy team can't surprise you and just destroy you. You want to play extraordinarily safe as Sylvanas, as you only have one escape, and it's entirely tempting to use that as a wave clear mechanic, as it is a massive boon for wave clearing if you decide to use it. But as I said, it's your only escape. You really don't want to use it for that. And the piercing owl just took out Tyrande there. The bone prison going down on our Tracer, who is going to get taken out by D.Va by the looks of things. It's unfortunate, but I'm going to jump this way. She missed her owl, thank God. I think that may have been enough to kill me, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't know how to gauge Tyrande's damage anymore. I'm trying to get better at it, but I just don't think I can at this moment in time. I'm gonna go head top because I believe the shrines are a little bit of a lost cause at this point, and want to just try and get some XP back. We have an XP lead, and I'm just going to come up here and try and take away a tower from them, so they don't get as much points as when they inevitably get this shrine. Unless, of course, I'm being an absolute numpty, and the enemy team aren't going to get it, and we are. But I'm just going to stay top, and I think I should have been down there. I believe I could have been down there to help, but because now they are going to get it. But no, they got interrupted, or she interrupted herself to send off that owl. But I got the. They're going to fire one less shot now, which is extraordinarily helpful to us. They're getting less value from that objective, so my tactic has paid off, whereas theirs to just spam the hell out of the objective and brawl around that did not. So not an exactly great move on my part, as I still believe we could have won that shrine fight, but there's a boon to it with the fact that I got some value out of going top and taking that top objective, stopping them from getting one extra damage. And in this game on Towers of Doom, one extra core damage can be game changing. Now they have taken it back very quickly, as it is Zul and D.Va. And Zul can create minion waves where ones don't exist. So now I'm rotating down bot here to try and help my team, as I believe we're going to try and siege our way through here, but the enemy team has all turned up, so that rotation is no longer a viable option. So we want to come mid, not only to help Malthael, but it's also a better target to. It's also a better target to rotate onto. I'm trying to. I'm not going to win this fight against Tyrande, so I'm going to just run this way. Luckily, I had my own Tyrande to heal me up there, as I might have died to the ticking poison of Malthael. But I'm throwing out the dagger onto the enemy D.Va there, purely because she was the furthest forward, and I knew she was running backwards towards her team. I'm throwing out our dagger there. We're trying to just stop the enemy team from doing that much damage. Oh my god, I'm getting destroyed by Varian there. And now I need to back away, as a stray owl can come and just kill me. However, it was just fired that way, missing our Tyrande, but now by backing, it's definitely, there's no risk of me dying to owls, especially while I'm in the fountain. So now I'm going to try and run down bot, but yeah, Zul would have got there beforehand. D.Va taunting before grabbing the objective there. Probably should have gotten this objective first. Apparently I can't jump out of Zul's roots. However, I did learn today that a new Barak can. I can't get out of Zul's root with my movement ability. However, as I said, I believe I mentioned it, I tried to record a game as Zul earlier. I learnt a few things about him. I learnt with his talent rework, I'm actually fairly good as him. However, the game that I recorded that showcased a lot of really good things that I wanted to bring up about Zul. Well, my Mouse decided to have a funny 5 minutes, and how do I describe this? Decided that it no longer loved me and would decide to try instead to throw all my games by basically going the whole time. So if you're watching my mouse right now, that was exactly what it was doing. Now the enemy team just got 3 core damage off on us because no one came down to clear the mercenaries they brought down, which is slightly disheartening because they got just some free core damage that they really didn't need to get. But we're going to just stop the enemy wave from doing that, throw out the dagger, and that little sidestep we just did save us from a nice bit of Tyrande damage that we don't really want at all. We're trying to take this back, but now it's a good thing we took this back and equalised, because it's always the first and I believe third. No, this is more than third. This is the 5th. The 5th one is where all 3 towers kind of spawn. This is a really important milestone in the game, which is now being showcased right now by how we are now just rallying around, and we're going to get at least a few of these. I am going to be able to jump in and get Barry in here as well, which is nice. So that's 4 of the enemy team killed. 5. All 5 of the enemy team killed, and this should be every. Oh no, she can't because of the skeletons. So this should be every single one with a nice 12 damage to their core. But I'd rather secure that. I know they're all dead, but I would rather just secure it as quick as possible, because then we can rotate. As some people would, as Tracer, the enemy team Diva decided to BM us earlier by taunting before grabbing the objective, because she knows we can see them. However, we have now taken a nice rotation there. However, if we do get all of the enemy team structures, we get a continuous fire of 1 shot towards the enemy core. So we kind of want that, and I'm also going to now grab Bolt of the Storm, which is an incredibly good talent. It takes time to recharge, but when it fires off, it does a lot of damage to the enemies, structures, minions, that kind of thing. So I'm trying to do as much damage to this as I can to grab the objective. That was a nice silence there I got on the enemy team, so I'm trying to spread that my dagger there, but it didn't really go anywhere. I'm actually going to run away, as I know Malthael was destroying everybody. Interesting. I wasn't expecting such a stomp there after Malthael showed up. But now I'm going to run to bot, and I'm going to try and grab that, as then, as I explained, we will have a continuous stream of shots going onto the enemy core, which would be extraordinarily useful right now, as we are 2 behind. But it all entirely depends on if I can clear fast, if Tyrande allows me to clear this thing as well. Because I'm trying to push this faster. But I doubt I'll be able to. Yeah, Tyrande hit me with a nice owl there to try and deter me, but I am not deterred. The time before. Ooh. I didn't even get it. I couldn't throw off my W in time. I am quite disappointed in myself, actually. If I had got that, that would have been so much. That would have been so worth it. But now, yeah, he's going to be interrupted by the owl. But Artanis is doing Artanis is no longer doing the right thing. He should have been defending in that bush where the enemy team Malthael came from, in hopes of, blocking the enemy team's rush. But it looks like it didn't matter, and they're going. No, oh, that was a good stun onto the laser though, and that Artanis laser is just cutting through people. Tracer decided to go bot, and she's going to try and get the objective down there. I believe she was probably best off getting into the team fight, but we're going to get at least 1 or 2 shots off. I would probably say, yeah, just the 1. But it's 1 more shot we managed to squeeze out of value. The enemy team only shot us for 2, which is extraordinarily good for us. But now all we have to do is keep rotating and keep them on their back foot. What we could do to try and maximize the amount of value is get both of these bottom siege camps here, the kamikaze camps. That could really help us a lot. Now, D.Va here is trying to defend very well against us, but we're trying again to try and push in here. D.Va, that was a nice Bolt of the Storm proc there, if you saw that crit come up. D.Va's trying to dance around us and beat us through damage, but Bolt of the Storm procs are just keeping us alive on that. I'm going to try right now and take this camp very quickly, as I can keep it CC'd. With Bolt of the Storm and such, it's extraordinarily high amounts of AoE damage. Tracer wants to go for the other one. I'm okay with this, because that way we can push them in and get an extra 6 core damage, which will bring them down to 7. If we can get all 6 in. I doubt we can, as that's a very tall order. But Artanis is pushing them in, and if Malthael stays, he's gonna be in a lot of trouble. But there is our issue. With D.Va's nuking ultimate as well. We could have run through and probably got there, but I'd rather not have overextended. Oh, I missed that. But we didn't get any off, unfortunately. But it looks like the enemy team also took back their top fort, so they got back 1 structure. We are going to do 5 damage right now, however. Oh no, we did get 3 off because, yeah. The others are obviously walking a bit lagging behind the lane. So now the only thing I'm worried about right now is an Tyrande Owl. The enemy team's Tyrande, but no, we get that shot off quite nicely. The enemy team's D.Va is trying to get away. Tracer's going to head her off nicely. I'm just going to clear out the minion wave here and defend what is rightfully ours in the bot lane. We gave up our life to get this, and Tracer nicely picked it up again for us. But this looks like it's going to be a nice win. I guess I should eat my own words that I said at the start of this video, and so, you know, I said this isn't a great map as you won't get a lot of value with Sylvanas. If you play the split push and rotation game, I guess you will get a lot of value, so that's something I can learn to eat my words for. But usually, yeah, especially in quick match as I am in, you don't get teams that will rally around and do the strategy of rotations. But our Tracer has been on the ball, our Artanis has been on the ball. I may have spoken too soon. And we still may lose this, as I said. 1 core difference is all you need. We can still lose this, to be honest. And that's the scary thing about Towers of Doom. Towers of Doom and Hanamura, you can never count out the enemy team. I was trying to record a Gazlo game the other day on Hanamura, and oh, that was a scary game. I think we were at 6 and the enemy team was at 1, and we just couldn't get them in. And it's quick match again, as I say. They had Asmodan, and just nothing we could do. He was pushing down everything. We only at this moment in time need 1 altar to win this game. They have 5 health, and we can do 5 damage with 1 altar. Now, what I'm going to do is take this. It's the tunnel entrance, and we're going to try and keep hold of this one here. We're going to try and take this one here. So I'm going to get in right now. I've silenced the whole of the enemy team. I'm trying to help. I'm not going to do much, unfortunately. But Malthael got bot lane, so GG. Sneaking in with the bot shrine instead of getting the middle one. It doesn't matter. We won. And that's our team's Tyrande, who did extraordinarily well, I will say. Kept us alive a few times in that game. However, I do have to eat a gigantic slice of humble pie, as I'm going to upvote myself and be an absolute rude boy. But no, I have to eat a gigantic piece of humble pie, as I had gone into this game stating that Sylvanas didn't do very well on this map, as I was led to believe by my past experiences. Again, this may be the one-off game where I do extremely well. But as I said, you need a team to rally around you in quick match, and a team that will play with you to getting through on the rotations, because that's how Sylvanas works so well, especially on a map with regenerating structures. Rotating to take full advantage of Sylvanas' trait is amazing, and where we had that 4-man rotation going when we went from bot to mid and we killed, I think it was the D.Va who was collapsing in on a Malthael, that opened up the map for us so well. And we'll just run through my build. As I remember, I didn't particularly talk about it as I was going. So at level 1 I took Overflowing Quiver. When a nearby enemy minion dies, a free Withering Shot is fired. It cannot hit heroes. Withering Shot applies my trait, and it has 5 charges. And you gain a charge upon a death, and 3 charges upon an enemy hero death. It only does a little bit of damage. It's about, I think, about half an auto attack, or the same as Shadow Dagger. I'll just run through the abilities quick in case nobody knows. It deals 36 damage to a target, 148 over 2 seconds as a dot, but it will spread to nearby targets, and that's how you use it to spread around through minion waves. Haunting Wave is our escape ability. It sends forth a wave of banshees, dealing 114 damage to all targets. Reactivate to teleport to the banshee's current location. You save this, as I said, because Sylvanas has a tendency to, or Sylvanas players, including myself, have a tendency to tunnel vision so hard on their objective of taking down something they're split pushing, they don't really notice that the whole of the enemy team may in fact now be behind them. Black Arrow is the passive. As I said, basic. I went through it in the game, or believe at the start of the game before. Basic attacks and abilities stun minions, mercenaries, and structures. Wailing Arrow was the ultimate of choice this game. Shoot an arrow that can be reactivated to deal 228 damage and silence enemies in an area, making them unable to use abilities for 2.5 seconds. The arrow detonates automatically if it reaches its maximum range. This is such a good denying tool, especially for any of the popular people at the moment, like Malthael, who require their abilities to keep themselves alive and to do massive amounts of damage. Especially good against mages if your team's trying to get onto, say, someone who's slippery like Li Ming. You can just fire out your Wailing Arrow and nail her from a decent distance, and then she can't teleport away from your team, and they can just run her down. The second ultimate that I don't particularly ever take is Mind Control. After a 1 second cast, take control of the enemy hero's movements, silencing them and preventing them from doing anything else. The channel lasts 2.5 seconds. Literally just means move the enemy wherever you would like. Within that 2.5 seconds, obviously. But now we're going through our talents. Overflowing Quiver, as I said. At level 4, we went with Withering Barrage, I believe. Withering Fire charges increased by 1, and charges can be fired 33% faster. I took this purely because I knew I was going to go split pushing this game, and I need the extra charges just help with extra damage, and be 33% faster firing of them allows for a bit more burst damage. So with rotating, if there's time between the lanes, I'm recharging, and then I can do a massive burst straight off onto a tower, and then if I need to again run away, I can recharge those shots. Now at this level, as I said, there's an argument to be made for Unstable Poison, but I took Barb Shop. Withering Fire, which is our Q, deals 200% bonus damage to minions, mercenaries, and monsters. This was particularly good in taking the mercenaries, which are incredibly important in Towers of Doom, as they kamikaze and deal damage to structures, and it's so important to remember mercenaries on Towers of Doom, and this was going to help us. However, Unstable Poison doesn't affect mercenaries and will not gain that much value if I took that. It's really good for lane split pushing, but not when structures and mercenaries are more important on the map. So at level 10, as I said, I took Wailing Arrow, which is the long range silencer ultimate. I used Windrunner on this one. Teleporting with Haunting Wave fully recharges Withering Fire. Haunting Wave can be cast a second time for free within 5 seconds after teleporting. I did not use this to its fullest extent. There were, especially in the tower dive where I almost got that bottom fort when Tyrande came and killed me. If I had used my wave completely, fired out all 5 shots, and then used it again as I should have done, as I shouldn't have been hit by her stun. I should have been much faster on that. I could have got that down before dying. However, there's an argument as well again for life drain, where if you're fighting a massive wave of minions, you get a self-sustain. Shadow Dagger heals Sylvanas for 33 each time it 37 for each time it spreads to an enemy. At level 16, I took the Cold Embrace, as at this point we were team fighting quite regularly, and Shadow Dagger lowers the armor of the initial target by 25% for 2 seconds. This is incredibly good when you've got Varian, Colossus Smash Varian running in and trying to take out your squishies, because then what tends to happen is he gets collapsed on. Now, a few times in this game I waited out his parries, because obviously while he's parrying, he's invulnerable to damage with that build. So I had to wait till after he parried to give the 25% damage, and we used it on D.Va as well to make her a bit more squishier, because she kept diving into our backline quite frequently. And then at level 20, I took Fury of the Storm. Every 5 seconds, your next basic attack will deal an additional 91 damage to the target and 228 damage to all nearby minions, mercenaries, and monsters. Again, focusing on mercenaries here. I didn't get a lot of value. I got a few decent shots off onto the enemy heroes with this, but if you're playing a game, say on Tomb of the Spider Queen, where killing minion waves fast is important because you want to play the objective, Fury of the Storm is incredible. Bolt of the Storm is, say, the enemy team have got really high dive comp and you need the extra escape. Deafening Blast I never take, to be honest. Fury of the Storm and Bolt of the Storm are way too strong to allow for Deafening Blast. But that is my build. I mentioned I believe at the start of this game about Heroes Hearth. I was looking on builds for that. I do have my own Heroes Hearth page, but until I fully put up all my builds that I use, I'll release a tier list as well. I won't be linking it quite yet, but if you'd like to, you can search for me on there for now, and once that is set up, I'll start including it into my video descriptions. But, however, ladies and gentlemen, my name has been Hellas Toaster, this has been Heroes of the Storm with Sylvanas, and thank you, and goodbye.